So welcome back to the social class for class 9. So after a gap of time, so once again we meet again. So as per the chapters are go continuously there, though I already complete the chapter as per the syllabus which is already given there. But also some of the chapters like the past chapters I didn't cover. The second chapter I already covered the Russian regulations. And today we'll start the third chapter, and after that either we'll move to the geography or either political science or by the economics. But on this chapter, in chapter 3 for the history, that is the Nazism and the rise of Hitler. So on this chapter we studied after the First World War and during the First World War what the Germanies are basically lost, because all these chapters related to the Germany. We already know that in the history, like when we study the second chapter, when the Russian revolutions was there in 1917, the Russian revolutions are started there and they call back their army. And there also we found that the First World War and the Second World War, First World War. In that First World War we found that the alliance are there in two groups. The one is Germany, like Austria-Hungary, Turkey. The another side we found like Britain, France. In the later portions, USA also come there, Russia. So what are the result of the First World War and how the Nazism was formed there, and how the Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany in 1933, and due to the First World War how the Second World War started, and what are the economically, politically factors are changed in Germany. So the things we will study on this chapter. So as for the first point, that is the birth of the Weimar Republic. So birth of the the things you already understood. The birth of the Weimar Republic. The Weimar is the institutions like in Parliament in India. The last time also we discussed on the Duma, the Parliament of Russia. So the Weimars is like the Republic. The Weimar is like the Parliament. Especially we can say them is the Reichstag. So Reichstag is the Parliament of Germany. So on that Germany, in that Parliament, when the elected bodies are sent there, when they form a governance body, so that's we say them as the Weimar. So that the Weimar Republic, especially we found it after the First World War. Now what are the factors which we found in the First World War? So in the First World War we found that the Germany side, that means the alliance side, the central power, that they are severely defeated by the alliance power. The central power was defeated by the alliance power. So the last time also I saw the some of the point like the one side here the central power, here the alliance power. So in the central power like Germany, Austria and Hungary, Turkey are there, and Italy also come to join there. Though in the alliance power, there we found like Britain, France, Russia, and the last portions in the 1918 in the last portions, USA also come to be joined there. And due to that cause, this central power was lost against the alliance power. But when the First World War was started in the 1914 on July, during that time the Germany was very powerful country, like the William J. Kaisers. They are the ministers, that means rulers of the Germany during those time. So William Kaiser was so strong that the Germany was capturing and they are extended their territory one after another country. And it is said in the history the Germany reached to the capital of France till nearby the Paris. So the nearby whatever the countries are there, if you see the map of the world, you may find that the Germanies are conqueror, they are capturing the nearby the territories year after year, day by day, and they have very strong powerful army. So in the last portions only, in the 1917 after, and during that time only when the USS are come to be joined there, the Central Powers are become weak, and ultimately the Central Powers are defeated in the First World War. Now the questions are rising that after the First World War, why the Germanies are become weak and how the Germanies are become weak. We already seen that the cause of the First World War, and also we know that because this all the countries are in Europe except the one country, and that is the USA. The USA are from the American, that means American continent. That means North America, South America. So North America, that means from another continent. So wars are fought in the Europe. So why the USS are come to be joined to the alliance power? So that's regarding on the historically, if you see, like the Britons are so strong country during those time, especially England, and they are making a colonial system. So some of the peoples, the habituate, they already are in the USA. So due to that cause, there are some blood relations are there. And beside that, during the First World War time, this alliance power country, either Britain, France, they are took a huge amounts of loan from the USA. And due to that cause, if these alliance powers are lost, so automatically USA will not get back their loan. So that is one reason that the USA come to be joined, so that they can recover their loan. The another point, in the Pacific Oceans, the U-boat, U-53. So that was, which is known as Lusitania. So that boat was destroyed by the submarines of the Germany, and there is another reason that they want to take a revenge on that. So that's all regarding on the First World War. Now especially we have to concentrate on the Weimar Republic before rise of the Adolf Hitler and before the First World War, that is 1900. But before the Second World War. So on the Weimar Republic, I already explained that when it's like the parliament where the elected executives are come to be joined and they discuss on that any propaganda. So now what are the effect of the war? So when we say the effect of the war, especially it's more pressurizing to the Germany. Now why the Germanies are more pressurizing, and especially after that they are forming in 1919 League of Nations. In that League of Nations, those who are on in the First World War, alliance power, they make a one grouping, and that grouping in the League of Nations, and they make a committee, and they are giving pressurizing to the Germany and those who are lost in the First World War, like the Germany which they are capturing, which they have a colonials in Africa, Asia, in some other part of the Europe. So that colonials should be surrendered to the alliance power, so that they can be recover their war compensations. Beside that, their armies have to be decreasing, because the alliance power, that means in the League of Nations, they feel that if again Germany is there increasing the army, so in future also the Germany can be come for the attack again. So again future also Germany can be again rising the world war, so that they can take their revenge. So that's why the German soldiers have decreasing from 8 legs to the 4 legs, and the Austrians and Hungaries, this before that they are in one country, but now they are making to the 2 country, Austria separate, Hungary separate, and as well as they have only capable to keep the 50,000 only the soldiers, so that they can protect it. And the another one, Turkey. The Turkey is known as the sick man of Europe, and that was ruled by the Ottoman Empire. So in Turkey, like they are Khalifa, which we say the Khalifa, the spiritual leaders of the Muslim. So the Khalifa was insulted more there. They are say as the puppet government there, and they are also they are paying a war compensations. Beside that, like the machineries, like arms and ammunitions for the war. So those all are decreasing day by day, and ultimately we found that the war compensations are paid there. Again, we found there, especially for the Germany, it was affected more to the Germany. That is the major regions Adolf Hitler's rise. That is the major region the Second World Wars are fought. In the League of Nations, it was declared that the Rhineland, which is the coal mine area, the border between France and Germany. If you see the map of the Europe, you maybe find there the Germany and France, they have a border. On that border, the Rhineland is there, which is very abundance of coal mines are coming up. On that coal mine areas are given to the France for the 15 years, so that they can be recovery their war compensations. That is a rural regions. So there we found that everywhere it is said that due to the cause of Germany, the past world wars are there. So this is a major seed, which is seed for the Second World War. So everywhere they are giving the burden. So they are giving the burden, and they feel that the past world wars are due to the Germany. So this is exactly the regions, the epoch of the war, which they are rising, like the Weimar Republic. They are forming a constituency. They are forming the committee among in Germany, and that parliament is known as Reichstag. The next point, that is on the political radicalisms and economic crisis. In political radicalisms and economic crisis found in Germany, especially after the formations of League of Nations and after the past World War. Because itself in Germany, now when their powers are deteriorated, when their resources are become less, the peoples are become unemployment more there due to the past World War, the destructions of industry and factory, and whatever they have money, that monies are expenditures in the war, as well as now they are giving for the $6 trillion have to be paid back to those who are owned in the past World War. So economically and politically now Germany's are become weak. In the politically, no leaders are there which they can be confined the Germany once again and make a greatness. So there we found that many political parties are formed, like Communist parties of Germany, like the Socialist parties of Germany. So in one term, if you study the textbook, you may find there the November criminal. Now whom we say the November criminal? The November criminals are the Socialist, Catholic, and those who are supported to the Communists. They are referred them as the November criminal, because they believe that those type of the party, those type of the group of the peoples in societies are not helping to the Germany during the past World War. And after the past World War, especially when the Hitlers come to the power, that things we'll discuss later, in 1933 when Hitler became as a chancellor. During those times, the basic ideas of the Hitler is to be make the country a more strong, like the masculines, iron-hearted. So they are giving more importance to the farmer. Why they are giving more importance to the farmer? Because farmers are very strong, and they believe that the German people should be a very bold, very strong, very masculine from the heart. So that is that reason there. So politically, which refers that so many political parties are come, like influence of the Russian revolutions, influence of the French revolutions, and among in Germany also they are created a political party, that means political group, but neither can be succeed to establish the power there. And there are some of the political parties names are given in your textbook. So if you study the textbook, it will make a more easy for you to understand there. And regarding on the economically crisis, in economically crisis, as I already mentioned that the war compensation have to pay a huge amount of money, 6 trillion money. So 6 trillion pound. So this huge amount of money. So that's they have to pay as the war compensate. Beside that, their coal mine areas are already taken away. So on economical crisis, to be repay the loan and as well as to be compensate to those who are owned in the past World War in Germany, the year after year, in month after month, they started printing a paper money. And when they are printed a paper money, more and more now their values are become very low. So some of the figures are given in your textbook, just you can check it. So in the month of June, in the month of August, in the month of December. So till that the paper money was that much they are printed. Now that values are become gone, and due to that cause exactly the year of depressions are started in the Germany. So year of depressions are started in Germany, not only in Germany, in the Europe and as well as and American continent and as America continent and as well as in the Asian continent also. So the Great Depressions was started in the 1930. So some textbook is given that 1929, 28 also there. So Great Depressions was started in the Europe due to the reckless printed of the paper money, as well as and due to that cause damaging of the past World War, their agricultural sectors like in the industrial sector. Beside that, if we study on the Great Depressions of the economy, like thousands of the peoples are become unemployment, and every people want to be ready to be work any kinds of the work, like banks are shut down because when people are not deposit, they are unable to be generate the money. So those who have money they keep in their pocket, they are not expenditure, their peoples are lost their occupations. So many kinds of it is affected many sectors of the peoples, especially during the periods of the Great Depressions in the 1930, which I explained here. And the next class we'll start with the rise of the Hitler to the power, and the Hitlers are chosen as the chancellors in Germany, and he formed a political party, and exactly that is the Nazism. And after that the Hitler come to the powers and try to make a greater Germany in the later sections, and that is reason you already know that the Second World War was fought that in 1945 he was suicide. So when Hitler come to the power, what things he done for the Germany and how he rise again their army and to make the greater for the German people. So the things we'll study the next class. So for that today that much, and if you have any doubt you can be ask me or you can be WhatsApp me. So I didn't go to the line by line as written in the textbook, but just you read the textbook, some of the names, some of the industrial sector, some of the political parties names, so that's are given in your textbook. So I didn't explain it more one by one there, so just you go and check it. So for today that much, thank you.